challenge. I may not be an experienced politician, but I'm an experienced human being. I'm an experienced human being. I know there's always problem. I know that if you're able to if you're able to share we are taught in conflict management that you should expand the pie. If you expand the pie, then you might discover that somebody who is fighting, two people are fighting over a bottle of Coke. One wants the Coke bottle, the other person wants the content. So you can ask the person, drink the content and give this man the bottle. That would be fun. Seriously. Yesterday, I was everywhere because allegation from one of the states, those that they say they're going to do primaries and they're going to alter this thing. And I went to the leader, they called the chairman, they called the secretary. I said, don't do anything because I will be on air and I will attack you people. I won't spare you people. If you can make a mistake and it goes to court or anything, I talked to the PO, I talked to everybody, and successfully they agreed that you should not, when your opposition, this applies to all opposition, your responsibility is to do everything right. Because you have no friend in the court or in INEC. In a third world, institutions are captured. So you don't start winning the people by making errors or create opportunity for them to leverage on. Your first radicalism is to keep your house in order. Then you fight to protect your rights. Then you fight to disorganize a conspiracy against you. But if you first start creating opportunity for sympathy for you, for help, where your enemy will not help you, you are not a good strategist. So the first thing is that the party has to move in a way that does not get opportunity for them to not depend on INEC advising you, or INEC will give you good advice. That's the problem. So, frontally, people who are here, people have met me, were there before. Somebody from my local government came to me and said, we were there before this people came. I said, how long? I mean, we're talking about March to May. Honestly, there should be nothing like old and new people. In a recess, just 2 months, That's just, I'm not saying anybody should be neglected. And it's always a difficulty forming party close to election. Because people focus on nominations. And so they always forget that the party is supposed to, the business of the party is not nomination. In political party, there are strategies who don't run election. There are people called policy people, whether in America, Europe, all of you guys have all traveled well. You see people, the guys who took Obama to presidency, Axelrod, and others, they have not run for any office. They are policy wound. They are guys who sit there and plot how government will, and plot several electoral people. They never put themselves on the ballot. There are those who are party managers. They manage party. They don't want to run election. They don't want to run election for 100 years. Their job is to manage. And there are those who don't even know the party system, but they are going to run election. They are asked to come and run because they are credible. Maybe they have the electoral map favors them. Every election has electoral map, meaning that there are combinations of characters that can win election. So this is what I will say to everybody. I know, because I have spoken, the biggest thing this party has going for it is that you have two leaders, Peter Obi and Paul Ondo, who have shown real discipline. And they have Mr. Dixon, Seraki Dixon, who is a fantastic guy. He's committed, he's honest, he's focused, he's strong to fight, and he's guided by principle. I think they will sit and look at the candidates, like Augusta, and make the best decision around capability, not money. Capability is not money. If you are rich and you're not acceptable to the people, then you don't have capacity. We have made a mistake of thinking that capacity means money. You may not have money, but you are a well-respected, liked candidate, then you are capable. Capability might be based on zoning in your place. Maybe you guys have a zoning arrangement, and that zoning is respected by voters. Then they ask you not to run because the other people is their turn. That is capacity to win election. So this idea of capacity is not about money. And by the way, money fails. You can't have more money than a ruling party. You can't mobilize violence than a ruling party. So you are victory. This is what I told them in Imo in 2023. You cannot win a ruling party without a candidate that people are passionate for. Because voting is a behavior. If people are not passionate, they can't risk to defend an opposition candidate. It's actually better to vote for a ruling candidate because it doesn't cost you much. Probably they give you money. But to vote and defend your vote as opposition, you always need candidates that people can be passionate about and say, this guy, why are we here for P2B? Why are everybody coming and come here? Are they being paid? Because the people are passionate about them. So I think that the party understands that they have to get candidates that people can rally around. You won't win everything because of P2B or because of purpose. You need to have that young boy in that federal constituency who is credible, who on P2B's platform adds additional support to win the ruling party. I think they will do that. What I ask of you is, please give them some space. Give them some grace. Let me tell you, yesterday I was angry, I was shouting. I say, if I see that national secretary, I will tear him. What kind of nonsense? They give instruction, things are working. So you'll be very angry. Some of these guys, and let me say the truth, small parties have a problem. Why? Because when they are forming them, the people who take political offices are not really very good people. Some of them are opportunities they saw. And they will die inside that place. If you ask them to step down, they will not step down. You have to manage them carefully. That's the burden of a small party. Because people who got early, the people who went first, may not be the best people, but they are there. So we need to develop patience, compassion, and humility to manage people in office. Knowing that the ultimate game is to pass this nomination stage without getting INEC or APC or anybody strike you down. Pass this stage. Then when you get to the stage of campaign, those who don't get in will have bigger offices. There are bigger offices in government. And let me end with this story. When I was president, he told us a story. There was a guy who was director of transport in Bayelsa government. He was so powerful that people now, next election, they started applying for, that they want to run for director of transport. They didn't know that director of transport is not an office. But because of personal relationship, that office became bigger than commissioner and House of Assembly. People now say want to run for director of transport. So the biggest prize in politics is not just be a senator, be a House of Reps, be an assembly. You can be something else that's far bigger than that. So don't fight. Do your best to win. If you don't win fairly, please accept the verdict. Don't forget that these party leaders, some of them are people. There are people who came in. They may be sent bedfellow. Let's be wise in dealing with them. The fact that they are there today does not mean that they are committed to the vision. But you must carry everybody around and sell this storm. After the storm, we'll get back to rebuilding from ground zero. Thank you so much. I think I will leave at this point. Okay.